Question 10.3. Isomer Q C6H10O2 is cyclic, so it's got some kind of a ring in it. We can't assume that there are 6 carbons in a ring. There could be 5 or 4. The infrared spectrum of Q is shown below, and the carbon-13 NMR spectrum of Q is shown below that. So let's have a look here. Right, I've got a very broad peak here. If it were 3,500 like this here, it would be an alcohol, but because it's slightly lower and between 2,500 and 3,000, that's a carboxylic acid. So I've got a carboxylic acid here, and I can check that from my data book. The carboxylic acid has got to be a branch off the chain, because the carboxylic acid, the C of the COOH, the carboxylic acid, has got a double bond oxygen and an OH. So it's already got 3 bonds. So the fourth one must be off the ring. It must be joining a ring, not within a ring, because within a ring it needs 2 carbons either side of it in the ring. So the carboxylic acid must be off the ring. Now I've got 6 C's and one of them's in a COOH, so I must have 5 in a ring with a COH off that. So I think I've got something looking like that. 5 carbons in a ring and a COOH off that. Let's just check out the carbon-13 spectrum, and let's just check. I've got 4 different peaks, so I've got 4 different carbon environments. I'm going to have one there. That's a carbon that's different from the rest because it's got 3 carbons bonded to it. These 2 are symmetrical, and they're different again. So that's the 3rd kind, and those 2 are symmetrical, a 4th kind. So I've got 4 different peaks in that, so that matches up okay so far. I've got one of those carbons. So I've got a peak of integration height 1, let's say. I've got another single carbon, that's that one there, one of that type, and then I've got 2 of this type, and that's a double height peak, a double integration height peak, and then I've got 2 here with another double integration height peak. So I've found the chemical, found the isomer. Evidence from figure 4, so that's from the infrared spectrum. So it's got an OH carboxylic acid peak at 2,500 to 3,000. Remember, always quote the numbers from your data book. And evidence from 5, it's got 4 peaks, so 4 different carbon environments. That matches that. And from the integration, or the height of the peaks, 2 of the carbons are the same. And then I've got a single carbon in one environment. I've got another single carbon in another environment. So I've got 2 peaks of height integration 1 and 2 peaks of integration 2.